Hey, family tech man, how's your spirit? Talk to me. Tell me something good. We had a really good show last night. Almost an hour and a half. That was a really. I enjoyed myself, man. Talking with my boy. You don't get too many real friends in life. And that's one that I have. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna get back to my words, and if someone comes in, then we'll go from there. 'Cause we had a really good time last night. Really good time last night. I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that. Uh, how y'all doing today? Was it hot enough for y'all out there today? All right, as you know, this is called TACC, Through Adversity Come Change by me, Rich Como. Also have the workbook on online too, on Amazon. And also my spirit is great. How is yours? Uh, Yeah, everything is beautiful. We're gonna have a good one today. As always, give y'all a little time to come on in and talk to me. I see one person just came in. How's your spirit? Talk to me. Tell me something good. Uh, Let me get to this right here. This is what I wanted to finish yesterday. Uh, and why I read these, right? This is like to show you where my mindset was at when I reinvented myself and changed my mindset and start embracing different things, philosophy, poems, uh, spiritual, all kinds of different things. And this is around the time I had got my master's degree in business from Baylor through Dubai Venture. So, I'm going to continue from where we left off. Let us strive to build peace in the hearts and minds of all. JFK. You see how significant that is? Build peace in the hearts and minds of all. Same thing I'm trying to do. Like I tell you, I'm at peace. And I want you guys to understand what the peace really feels like. Me and my I can't say it's my boy, it's my brother. You know, this was my partner that, we used to live together, everything, all four of us. And he doesn't believe in God, and I get it. I understand. He's been through a lot, but in life we have to understand that there's signs. Like I tell you, Surah 3 Ayat 190. Any fi kalki samawati wal ard wa tilafil layli wa nahari ala uli albab. And what that means is in the creations of the heavens and the earth and the alternations of night and day, there are signs for people of understanding. You got to use your head for more than a hat rack. You got to pay attention. God's going to show you. You know, your path is already laid out for you. You just have to embrace your journey to get there. You know, and it comes with time. You have to go through your adversities first to get to that understanding. That's why it's called through adversity comes change. Your choices shape your adversities. Your adversities are your lessons to get you to your blessings. And it's up to you. Whatever choices you make is either going to be good, where it's going to be small adversities, or it's going to be bad and it's going to be big adversities. You know, but even though you go through big adversities, it's a lesson and a blessing because you get the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of what it was. Whereas a person who doesn't go through it won't have all the tenets of that. So there's still blessing. This is how beautiful God is. He blesses us in all kinds of ways, you know, and it's only through our adversities change takes place. Um, we must be ready to allow ourselves to be interrupted by God because it's going to come times in your life when He's going to tell you, "Ho," and you're going to understand because you're going to know that you might be on the wrong track. And see, that's one thing about this program here. This is about being real with yourself 100%. And building a connection with the God of your understanding or your higher power, however you call them, you know, and things happen when you have that connection. Trust and believe that. I've seen some things in my life, you know. Look at me, I'm a miracle. 9 shots, and I can still walk and everything, you know. So, you know, there is a God and He's real. And that ain't the only time I almost came close to death. I OD'd when I was young by mistake. I was dead for 3 minutes. They had 13 solutions, 3 or 4 defibrillators to bring me back. So these things let me know that I'm here for a reason. You know, God has a purpose for me. And I understand because that's why I'm on this journey. You know, I have embraced my journey. So I understand my job is to help others. And this is what I'm doing, you know, and I'm going to continue to do it because I love doing it, because it helps me and it helps you. And that's the blessing. It says, God commands us to pray, but He forbids us to worry. Why? Because when you worry, that means you don't have faith in Him. When you keep your faith in Him, you ain't gonna worry because you know whatever He does to or for you is gonna be the best thing for you. Like I said, He doesn't fail. Whatever He does is for a reason. So don't worry. Just have faith. Know that He gonna work it out. And that's by Saint Francis Sales. God is closer to us than water is to fish. Just think about that for a second. God is closer to us than water is to a fish. That means He's all seeing, all knowing, all everything. That's why He's the greatest. And it baffles me when people limit God, but they say He's an awesome God, He's a great God, He's this, that, but they limit Him. How can you limit the one who made everything? Like I said, me and my buddy was talking today, and we was talking about uh the galaxies and all that. How is this all about? You know, it had to be somebody to create this. You know, he said, well, how you know it's a man or a woman or whatever it is, it's stronger than we are. And it's in control of everything, period. I beg you for the love of God to show great tenderness to the poor. And if you have any heart, you're gonna do that. It's more than enough of everything on this earth for everyone. But we have a select bunch of people that think that everything belongs to them. And it's crazy because everything was here before we got here. So how could you own something that was here before you got here? I mean, before man got here. So we've lost uh track on life, because we've let the devil do what he does, and we've let greed come into our hearts, and it's not worth it. Trust and believe that. It's not worth it because in the end, it's not going to be nice, because when the big man put his thing down, it's going to be ugly. You know what I mean? And I mean, it's going to be ugly. And people are going to wish that they did the right thing. And this is why I try to get you guys to embrace your journey. Figure this shit out. Figure it out. And when you figure it out, man, life's gonna be beautiful, man. You know? Peace, peace, peace. That's the brother. We must not save the soul at the hour of death, but the person living in history. Think about that. That's deep. And that's by Archbishop Oscar Romeo. So this lets you know I was reading all kinds of things when I was locked up. Usually one gets a heavier cross when one attempts to get rid of an old one. Real generosity is doing something nice for someone who will never know. And that's a beautiful thing, to do something for somebody and they'll never know. And they'll wonder, but it's man, you don't know how many smiles that you can put on people's heart with just the smallest gesture, you know. And God rewards all of that. And I know y'all say, oh, this dude talks about God a lot. Yeah, because God is the center of everything. Like I say, I'm not religious. I'm a spiritual brother. And like I said, I want everybody to win, everybody to heal, everybody to come together. We're divided, and we'll never accomplish anything like that. Like I was saying the other night, I don't understand how we could forgive the people who've done us all the wrong in the world, but we can't forgive each other. You know, we can't even get money with each other when we mad at each other. We want to kill each other. But the other groups, they can still make money together. And that's sad. We've been and this is not our behavior. This is the behavior of our captors. And this is what nobody talks about. We act the way we were taught, you know, and it is what it is. But we have to unlearn and then relearn, because you know what's civilized and what's not. This is why we got free will. And once you become civilized and understand this, it's your job to do the right thing. And that's like what I'm doing now. I've become civilized and understand life. So my job is to help others to obtain the same peace, the same healing, the same knowing of the lies from the truth, and helping everyone accept, achieve, and appreciate love. That's what it's about. And once we get it, we gonna have it, and there's nothing they can do about it. But we have to do it. Nobody can do it for us. And this is what a lot of us fail to realize. We don't need no one. All you got to do is look within you and trust and believe in you. Everyone is special. Everyone has a gift. And you find once you find your gift, man, you're gonna be, nobody can do it better than you because it's your gift. You just have to be able to be honest with yourself, look within you, and do what's best for your soul, what makes your heart feel good. That's why I tell people I like to put smile on people's heart, not on their face, on their heart. It's a whole different vibe. And once you get to that place in your life where you understand that, man, life is beautiful. No matter what. I've lived a great life. Um, Raise your words, not your voice. It is rain that grows flowers, not thunder. That was by Rumi. And anybody who knows Rumi was a great philosopher. But like he said, raise your words, build your vocabulary, not your voice. Because shouting doesn't make you right. But if you're speaking words of righteousness and wisdom, that makes more. And you don't have to shout that because the truth stands alone, needs no support. Always understand that. If the only prayer you ever say is thank you, it will be enough. Check that out. That's how great God is. You only got to say thank you because it's in your heart already what you're saying thank you for. So God knows your heart. And it's a beautiful thing, man. You know, we have to take uh, the little things in life and make the best out of the little things. It's not the big thing. This is where people get messed up. Everybody want to do big, 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 but you have to take care of the little things. Once you take care of the little things, then you're able to take care of big things. But if you can't take care of little things, how can you take care of big things? They think because there's more money. No, that ain't how it go. You have to live right and do the right thing with the small things, and that's how you get to the big things. Period. I didn't make the rule. It's just how it is. And one thing we must do is give thanks for all creation, because everything plays a part in everything, and a lot of people don't. You know, and try to be a blessing to someone for the day. You know, go out your way to be a blessing for someone today, tomorrow, whenever, and watch how that feels, and watch how it makes that person feel. It's only through adversity change takes place, and giving little small blessings is what we need to do, man. Life is short, man. Y'all really don't understand. Life is not as long as we think it is, and that we're gonna be in that grave longer than we will ever be alive. So you have to prepare yourself for that. And doing that is change your ways, reinvent yourself, change your mindset. Try to heal, try to be at peace. Try to do one thing a day that makes you a little bit better, or one thing a week, or one thing a month. One thing a month is 12 things you've changed to make yourself better in a year. One thing a week is 52 things that make you change to be a better person. And one thing a day is 365 different things to make you be a better person. Think about it and how great that would be. And one thing a lot of people don't get, God will not look you over for medals or degrees, but for scars. And you know what that is? Scars on your heart, because we go through all kinds of things in our life, so the degrees and medal, none of that matters. What matters is what comes from your heart, your intentions, your niyat, the things you really suffer for the sake of God or for somebody else, for people, and that's still for God. And what you have to understand also, happiness is a habit cultivated. It's just not done. You have to grow it. Little thing, like I said, one little small thing a day that help you to be better for tomorrow. You build your happiness. A lot of people think that people have control over your happiness. They don't. It's what you let in here. It's what you let in here. If people can rent space in your head, they will. But your happiness is within. It comes from here, your heart, living right, doing the right thing, making the change you need to make in your life. But we're going to all make mistakes. That's part of life. You know, like I said, every adversity we go through shapes and molds us to who God wants us to be if we are paying attention. You have to go through adversities to learn. We come in this world knowing nothing. And through our adversities, we learn life. And that's just how life is. And these are the things that we have to understand. It's only through our adversity change takes place. This is why we have to embrace our journey and do the right thing and live right. Nature is the art of God. And begin each day with a grateful heart. These are the things that people overlook. Small things like that. Just waking up with a grateful heart, like, thank you, God, for just letting me live today. Of course, so many other people didn't even wake up today. You gave me a fresh 24 or however many hours or minutes or seconds more, but at least I woke up, you know, and wake up with a grateful heart. Thank God. Okay, stream boards, celery demote. How you doing? And when you wake up with a grateful heart, man, watch how things change in your life, man. You just it's like I can't even understand. I can't explain rather how great it's been for me since I reinvented myself and changed my mindset. I can't even start to tell you, how many blessings that I've acquired, going through the difficult times in my life when, I was just me and just a few good brothers in my life, you know, and still I kept a smile because I know God is in charge. I never lost my faith. I've done things that I know I wasn't supposed to do, but I still never stopped believing. And I continue to do the right thing, and once I made changes in my life. And we fall short at times, it's life. But I understand now, and so I'm on a mission to do what I feel that God has for me to do, and that's help people to heal. And this is why I tell you guys, this is why I do this. I pay my money every month to be able to sit down and speak with you guys, but to help y'all heal. But it's mostly helping me, because it makes me reflect on the different things in my life that I know I need to work on. You see, so it's not just for the helping others, it's helping me as well. And it gives me 20, 30 minutes, an hour or two to be able to pass on some of the wisdom that has been given to me so freely. And like they say, you can't keep it unless you give it away. And it's like I tell you guys, it's a lot. The peace that I have is a lot, and I want to share it. I want people to be able to feel what I feel, knowing that God is in charge, and things are going to be all right. No matter how bad it looks, it's only going to be what He lets happen. And when you get that understanding and that concept, you understand that, man, we going to go through some stuff, but, He going to balance it out, you know. And I know I may sound kind of crazy to some people, hey, it is what it is. I know what I've gone through in my life and my experiences that lets me know that there's a God, just like it lets me know there's a heaven and a hell. And the only way we can get there is we have to change our ways. But we first must heal, then learn the lies from the truth, and then start to help everyone accept, achieve, and appreciate love. Because we really don't know what it is. You know, we may think we know what it is, but we've been lied to. Like I said, we've been lied to all our lives. Everyone, since the conception of America, the corporation. And it's by design. Like I said the other night, these people have layers of design of how to stay in power and how to keep people down. And this is why they'll never admit to doing the right thing by us. And they do it for everybody else, even other countries, because they don't feel that we are human. But the real ones know that we are the original. And that's the real reason why they try to dummy it down. Because if we ever find out who we really are and come together as one, it's a done deal, and they know it. But like I said, it's about us doing the right thing. It's about us healing. It's not about violence. It's about love. It's about showing love. Love conquers all because love is God and God is love. Strongest force in the universe. Excuse me. It can make you the happiest and it can also make you the saddest. It's up to you what you do with it. Well, like I said, it's only through our adversity change takes place. And this is what this is about, a movement helping us to heal and do the right thing for the rest of our lives so that we may have a chance in the next life. Of course, the way we're going, we self-destruction. Like I said, you're not a good person until you want for everyone else what you want for yourself, period. I was going to say the saying that, Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says, you're not a good Muslim until you love for your brother what you love for yourself. But I'm going to go even deeper. You're not a good human being until you love for your brother what you and sister what you love for yourself. Because we come from two people, Adam and Eve. So we're family by proxy. So, like I said, I want everyone to win, no matter if you like me or not. Find a way to win. That's it. And like I said, even the people who don't like me, if you win long enough, you won't even be worrying about me. You'll be worrying about what you're gonna do with the cash. So like I said, everybody just win. Don't worry about no one else. Just win. Do what you gotta do and win. TACC man out. Y'all have a blessed night. And tomorrow we will continue. Get your spirit right with the Most High. Peace.